The biggest lie in human history walked over a hill and vanished from the screen. Now 10,000 people are trapped in a concrete tube with a cornered dictator. Before Season 3 begins, you need to see how one murderer broke a perfect machine. George Wilkins isn't really a murder victim, he's a thread, and Juliette Nichols pulls it until the whole world unravels. Her lover dies in a fall that everyone calls an accident, and she refuses to accept the easy answer, which is the single most dangerous thing a person can do inside the silo. What she finds isn't a killer. It's a forbidden hard drive and a stash of relics from the old world, and the realization that the people running this place have been watching everyone through hidden cameras behind the mirrors. Murder was never the point. The cover-up was, and that cover-up is the entire society. The silo runs on one lie, and it's a beautiful one. The screen at the top of the stairs shows a toxic, dead world outside, so no one ever wants to leave. Anyone who says they want out is granted their wish and sent to clean the sensor, and they always do it, because the visor they're wearing shows them a lush green paradise instead of the wasteland. It's a kindness wrapped around a death sentence, convincing the condemned that their sacrifice is worth it right up until the poison gets them. Then Juliette is sent out to clean, sees the same fake green hills in her visor, and does the one thing no cleaner has ever done. She walks past the rise and keeps going, because Walker, her old friend down in mechanical, had quietly arranged for her suit seals to be wrapped in higher quality heat tape, and that tape is the only reason she's still breathing. Her survival is the spark, but the fire was already laid, because Bernard Holland has spent the whole time revealing exactly who he is. He looks like a mid-level IT bureaucrat, and that disguise is his deadliest weapon, because nobody fears the man with the clipboard until he's poisoning the silo's own judge over dinner. He kills Judge Meadows by letting her slip away inside a VR headset of the old world, the very history he spent his career erasing, and to him it counts as a mercy, giving her the one thing she always longed for, a last glimpse of that lost world, even as he ends her life. When the lower levels finally revolt, he doesn't negotiate, he starves them, because to Bernard order isn't a means to safety, it's the only thing he believes in. The rebellion isn't a mob, it's a machine, run by people who actually build things, and that's why it nearly works. Martha Walker, the agoraphobic mechanic who couldn't cross a hallway, gets blackmailed into becoming Bernard's mole when he threatens her ex-wife Carla, and she turns the leash around and feeds him misinformation instead. Even Robert Sims, Bernard's blunt enforcer, finally clocks that he's been lied to his whole life and quietly turns on the regime he spent years protecting. The rebels trick Bernard with hand signals he can't read, blow the central staircase out from under him, and storm IT, and for one moment it looks like they've won. They haven't, because the silo was built with one last failsafe, the safeguard, a buried kill switch that can flood every level with poison gas, and as Bernard's grip slips, that trigger is suddenly in play. While her home tears itself apart, Juliette stumbles into the answer to a question nobody knew to ask. There isn't one silo, there are 50. She breaks into Silo 17, a tomb emptied decades ago when a failed rebellion sent its whole population out the door to die in the wasteland, and finds it inhabited by a single broken survivor named Solo, a man who locked himself in a vault as a boy and has been talking to himself ever since. He's what a human being becomes when the silo's logic of safety runs to its end, a cautionary tale with a heartbeat, and he saves her life, then hides her suit because he can't bear to be alone again. Back home, Lucas Kyle, Bernard's reluctant protege, decodes the founder's secrets and descends to the very bottom, where an automated AI voice addresses him directly. Someone, or something, has been monitoring all 50 silos this entire time, and a flashback to a dirty bomb plot in Washington finally cracks open the question of who built this prison and why. So everything lands on one image, and it's the same one we started with. A person who refuses the easy answer, walking out a door no one should survive. Juliette now knows how to stop the safeguard, but the knowledge is trapped in the wrong silo, separated from her dying home by a toxic wasteland the show has just confirmed is utterly real. She climbs into the firefighter's suit Solo sealed for her and steps back outside, choosing the wasteland a second time, this time not to escape, but to save the people who tried to kill her. Behind her, the rebels finally hold the silo, but the safeguard still sits armed beneath their feet. Sims and his son have just been turned away from the one vault that promised them safety, and far below, Lucas stands at the bottom of the world, listening to a machine that knows more than any human alive. which leaves Season 3 balanced on 5 open questions. Can Juliette survive the incinerator she's trapped in with Bernard? Will Bernard safeguard gas the silo before she can stop it? Now that the vault has locked him out, whose side is Sims on? Who really built the 50 silos, and why? And what does the voice at the bottom want with Lucas? Make sure to subscribe so you catch the next season bridge as soon as we drop it in a couple weeks. Drop a comment below. What show should we cover next?